Okay, all of our affiliates should be connected, all two of them. Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Right here on WOSD Radio DV Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in. Coming up in our last hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. But before we go to that, uh, here's hoping that you all had a great evening, a great day at work. If you did, then great for you. If you didn't, then maybe this music will kind of help. You know what they say, music soothes the savage beast. And hopefully you beasts will be, will be soothed, all right, by some of this music here that I'll be playing for the next hour or so right here on the internet. It's the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Here's Lamont Dozier, Trying to Hold On to My Woman, on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Mm-mm. No, no. The Jay Leno collection. Oh, it's talking about the denim shirt. Very funny. LT. No. The Jay Leno collection. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bedtime Stories um, on FB and all the rest of those Bs. Thank you so much for joining us. Drinking a little water here. What's going on, niece? How are you today? How was your day at work? Mine was cool. Real cool. As always. What made it so cool was one of my coworkers decided to order Chinese food today, and plenty of it. We had shrimp fried rice, shrimp egg foo young, beef fried rice. He ordered shrimp, fried shrimp. I mean, it was just a smorgasbord, as Robin Lewis said. This is a smorgasbord. So it was very tasty. You still at work? Oh no. Oh baby. Still at the auto zone. Get in the zone. Auto zone. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, um, but I got off work and it was still daylight, which is something that normally doesn't happen, especially in the wintertime. It's like I come outside, it's like, okay, I get here as daylight. I get here as like night, like it's been dark for like hours or something. So that's what was so cool about my day because, of course, someone brought lunch. So the lunch that I brought, I said I'll save that lunch for dinner. So here's to you, Subwayers. Mmm, eat fresh. I know, right? Mm. So yes, my lunch for dinner. Yeah, so I didn't have to buy lunch and dinner. Of course, breakfast is just, breakfast is just coffee and maybe some, hash browns or something. And that does me for the rest of the day, or at least until lunch. So, and thank you for my compliment for my shirt, Jay Leno collection. Yeah, he did wear plaid shirt, well, not plaid shirts, but denim shirts when he wasn't on the Tonight Show with those tight ass suits on. That big old head of his. Yeah. And look, I covered up the laundry basket tonight before I went on the air. OSD Radio. Yep. Mm. I know you always say, you always, like, he's always eating. Yes, I am. And I'm not ashamed because, if I were in a regular studio, I wouldn't be able to do this. Eat or drink. No eating and drinking in the studio. Yeah. So I'm having dinner with a lot of you all. Even though dinner's what, 7, 8 o'clock? That's okay. I'm not going to go to bed right away. So, you know, congratulations. What am I congratulating you for, niece? Congratulations. for whatever you've done. Uh-oh, Joe Biden's in Chicago, and he's being greeted by Tony Preckwinkle. I'm sorry to hear that, but mm-mm. Lady who's been wearing the same suits for like 40 years. 20 years on your job, May 8th. Congratulations. That is an accomplishment. Congratulations. Anybody who's been on their job that long. Wow. Yep, definitely congratulations for that. You know, because like through the pandemic, a lot of people, never went back to work after 2020. They started working at home and then they were like, I'm not going back to work. They ain't doing it no more. But congratulations, Nunu. Congratulations, sweetheart. 20 years. That's quite an accomplishment. Yeah. And that is for anyone who has been on their jobs. Congratulations. Especially through the pandemic. You know. So here's to you, kid. Congratulations on 20 years. Me, I've been in radio for 40 years. I don't even know what my anniversary is. I think my anniversary is sometime in July. That'll mark 40 years because it was that long ago that I went to Gary where I started my first job, which was at WLTH. So I was like 80, 81, 82, something like that. I graduated from high school in 79. So from there, I went on to, doing college radio stations, WHBK, WKKC, you know, and that was it. Yeah. I know that's a long time, yeah. And then, like they say, the rest is history. The Dance Band and Heartbeat right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to Mr. Redmond, also to Troy Anthony. He said, I heard Al Greer wanted to be the new Batman, but withdrew after learning the character isn't about a fruit bat. Thank you. Mr. Redmond, good evening. Thank you so much. And congratulations to my niece who has been on her job for 20 years, May 8th. Congratulations, Yolanda. 20 years, that's a long time to be on a job. Then I told her how long I'd been in radio. And she said, that's a long time. Because I graduated in 79 from high school. A few years later, I went out to Gary, Indiana to land a part-time job. That's how it started, a part-time job at WLTH in Gary. And that's basically how I got my feet wet in radio, that is. And that was my first paying job. And from there on, I was I was doing it. At least I thought I was. Yeah, I kind of Kind of messed up that first job, but I recouped a few, not even a few years later, a few months later. But it was a wonderful thing. That was, me getting my feet wet. I also worked at was it WHPK, WKKC, so on and so forth. So, yeah, but that was back in the day. Yeah, I remember those days as if it were yesterday when I had a full head of hair. Now I have more hair in my ears than I do on my head. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories with DeBarge. Love me in a special way. Yep. All right. Don't forget to share the live video, people, on your pages where it says like, comment, and share. Just hit share, okay? Nunu, Troy, Lydell, and of course, LT. Yeah, make sure you share the video. Thank you so much. Before I lose all 7 people. Oh, I got 5 people now. Oh, well, now it's 4. Okay. Anyway, that's okay. Yeah. The character isn't about a fruit bat. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Troy. There we go. You cover up that big old TV in the background. Uh, anyway, I guess you're still at work, Mr. Redmond. Did you get the updated commercial that I sent you? I'm sure you did. That was earlier today. So, speaking of today, how about that weather outside? Wasn't that wonderful? It was. It was hot as fish grease outside today. I was like, wow. And I was complaining last week. I'm like, I wish it would warm up. Oh, I'll be glad when it gets warm outside. But I'll be damned if it got humid quick. It's as if they turned the thermostat up. I went from like, oh, this thermostat's way too low. It's at 30. Let's turn it up to 90. I was like, wow. And I can remember last week having the heat on, driving up to the house. Today I had the air on, driving up to the house. And at $5 a gallon, I was like, yeah, I might have to sleep in this car at $5 a gallon. Good Lord, that's a lot of. Yep. But thank goodness for me, my car doesn't burn that much gas. $40 took me to almost a full tank. So I can't complain. $40. I guess another $10 that would have been full, but maybe. Yeah. I'm like, good Lord. It is warm out here. I guess nobody wants to hear me talk about the weather. They pop down. Oh well. Or maybe they're just popping in. They're seeing, oh, he's still alive. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, big ups to our iHeart friends, our Crawford friends, and our friends over at the Omni channel. Thank you so much for joining in. Or checking in or spying in, whichever. I thank you all. Yep, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be here for a while, at least. Yeah, at least. But thank you all for checking in on me. Yeah. So, Troy, how was your day? I'm sure you are full of jokes tonight. You probably got a little nap after work, and you'll be in rare form tonight, I'm sure, with your jokes about Elton John and other homosexuals. All right. Only caught the last part of that. Now, I said you probably had a nice little nap and that you're ready to hit us with um, some Elton John jokes tonight, and other homosexuals. Yeah. But anyway, I thank you all, and I thank God that I'm in a basement because it's cool down here. You know, after sleeping 10 hours overnight. Yeah, okay. I don't think I've gotten 10 hours worth of sleep in I don't know how long. 10 hours. Wow. I'm lucky if I get at least 5 or 6 hours. I always seem to wake up in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is, but I will wake up and I don't have to pee or anything. I just wake up. I go to bed. As soon as I get through with the broadcast, I'm on the other side of the partition. And it's like I will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Wake up again at 5 o'clock in the morning. Wake up again at 7 o'clock in the morning. And like I don't get up until 9:30 to be at work at 11. So it's like I should sleep all through the night, right? No, not right. So they say you require 8 hours of sleep. Not me. I'm up all day. Now today was different. Sheila Forrest, what's going on, stranger? Today was different. We, like I said, one of the gentlemen brought in or ordered Chinese food. It was a whole bunch of it too, and everybody ate. Sheila said that's what's been happening to me, waking up every 2 hours. Yeah, I still don't know what that's all about, restlessness or whatever. But yeah, yeah, I've been restless for what I don't know, but it is what it is. Yep. Don't forget to share the page, okay? Just hit share where it says like, comment, and share. Just hit share, okay? Cool. Well, Johnny Gill and my, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to Sheila Forrest, Troy Anthony, Lydell Redmond, not Lady G. Lady G's no longer with the Bedtime Story Show. Maybe she'll come back, but she'll come back one day. Come home, Lady G. Come home, Lady G. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Thank you so much for being with us here on the internet. Make sure those that are on Facebook right now, make sure you share the page. I looked up and I had like 7 viewers, and then it dropped down to 3, and then it went up to 7. So I guess they're kind of, checking me out and saying, okay, I see him. Okay, I checked in, I saw him, and that's it. I'm not going to stay on there. But I appreciate you all that stay on the page. Okay, Sheila's saying, I'm sorry to hear that about Lady G. She's just not with us anymore. She's still alive, but she won't be on our Facebook page anymore. She stated that the other night. I said, okay. So I'm not going to ask any questions. Hopefully one day she'll be back. Yeah. Sheila said, I'm here for the long haul. I heard that. Thank you so much, Sheila Forrest. I appreciate you. Here's Al Green and Simply Beautiful on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Yeah, she's not dead. She's just not. She just stated last night that this would be her last night on my page. So I said, okay. You said Uncle Al Green. hmm So yeah. Yeah. Well, the show goes on without her. Maybe not the same quality, but you know, stepping away from the chat. Yes, that's what she's doing. Stepping away from the chat. Hopefully, she'll step back to the chat. Hopefully, real soon. Yeah. I meant to call and check on her today, but with everything going on at work, you know, and let me clarify. What I do is not like strenuous work. I'm not lifting boxes and everything else. It's just it's more mentally taxing than it is physically taxing because I'm not moving anything but you know what I do at home, and that's moving a mouse. So that's it. So that's what I do. Move the mouse. How are you, by the way, Al? I am fine, Sheila. How are you? I mean, aside from the not sleeping, I'm okay. So, yeah, that whole sleep thing has me kind of baffled. I'm like, okay, how come I can't sleep, the whole night? You know, um, I don't have that much on my mind, first of all. So I don't know what the problem is, but, yeah, but I'm sure somebody has something to say about that. There's something. My mother used to have this book, and it was like a book of remedies. and she would always go and, okay, for irregular sleep, you know, take this and take this before bed and you should sleep throughout the night. So it was like different remedies. Maybe it's what we are eating that might be the reason. I'm eating a Subway sandwich, not even with bread. It's a tuna wrap. You know, I mean, it's not it's not a foot long. It's just regular wrap. Which has little or no calories in it. So, TC, good evening. Good evening. So I'm just trying to figure out, what it is that I can't sleep the whole night. Am I a coffee drinker every morning? Yes. But by 3 o'clock, the coffee is worn off, and I'm just, I switch from, once I drink my last bit of coffee, then I'm drinking water the rest of the day. We have we have one of the water coolers, and that's it. I drink water most of the day. So, my mom would say, "There's too much on your mind." I'm like, well, Mom, I'm fine. Not thinking of anything. There's not too much on my mind. Especially before I go to bed. So, you know, usually I put myself to sleep. I'll let you figure that out. I put myself to sleep. And I don't use any alcohol to put myself to sleep. They say, maybe a glass of wine will, soothe you and knock you out. Well, I got wine, but I try not to make it a habit of. They say one glass should do it, to kind of relax your nerves or whatever. So um, I'm going to try that and try not to eat and drink, try not to drink the whole bottle of wine. Just, a glass every night before bed, and that should knock me out for the rest of the night, hopefully. So, but I'm not going to worry about it because if, you worry about that, then there's more to worry about, and then it's harder to go to sleep. But I just, Greg Beasley said, too much stress. I know, right? It's enough stress just driving to work, you know, trying not to get hit in your new car, you know. So that's about it. That's it right there in a nutshell. Trying not to get hit. So that it is what it is with that. That's stressful enough. Being on the expressway is stressful. With everybody either dragging or flying. You always get behind somebody and they're dragging, and the person behind you is blowing their horn like, will you get out of the way? I'm like, I can't. You're on my tail and I'm on their tail. That's stress. So, Greg Beasley, what's going on, sir? Mm-hmm. That's not the version I wanted to play, but I like that one either. Either way it goes. Marvin Gaye and My Last Chance on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to TC. Thank you for checking in. Greg Beasley as well, and Sheila Forrest. We're all in our places with bright, shiny faces. It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Also, good morning, good evening, I should say, to Rita. I didn't get a call from you today, Rita. I was looking forward to listening to your conversation on your way home as she called me the other day. It was like, I guess it was a butt dial, and I could hear her praying. And I just thought it was just so, it was delightful to listen to. And she kept praying. I guess she had her earplugs in or something like that, because I heard the entire conversation. Rita said, creeper. Uh, the whole conversation she was having. And even, I even missed a couple of calls just to listen to her pray. I just thought it was so good. Anyway, it's your Dr. Al Greer. And get this. When she got in the house, she started talking to the dog. I could still hear the conversation. Like I said, I missed like 3 calls just listening to her. Her little sweet voice. But she's a killer. Don't let her fool you. Anyway, Greg Beasley said every other accident in Cleveland involves an overturned vehicle. People are driving too damn fast these days. Yes, they are. Like I was saying earlier, on my way to work, on the expressway, there's always someone creeping, just dragging in front of me. And then there's a person behind me trying to get me to go faster. I'm like, if I go any faster, I'm going to be in this brother or sister's trunk. And I ain't trying to do that. Not in my new car. You know how men are with their car. I found a scratch on it. I was like, oh, wait a minute. What is this? Oh, anyway. Troy Anthony says, I heard Al Greer makes audio recordings the same way Chuck Berry made video recordings. Can anyone confirm? I remember one night somebody recorded me and a lady friend of mine. I was on 95th and Yale. This was a long time ago. And I could hear anyway. Here's the Gap Band, Yearnin'. No, sir, I do not do that anymore. I always want to record myself, in the act of, just to hear how it would sound. Because I actually don't make any noise. Well, you'd have to ask someone else what I sound like in the act of. But I don't think I make a sound. Sister Teresa, and not a moment too soon. What's up? Good to see you. Even if it's only on Facebook, good to see you. Yeah, what I walk into. Troy made a comment. He said, I heard Al Greer makes recordings, audio recordings, the way Chuck Berry made video recordings. So I have to I have to clarify that. Chuck Berry used to record young ladies at his house on his video camcorder. Somehow he had a camera in the bathroom, and he would take pictures of them or videos of them using the washroom. Kind of freaky like that, I guess. Sheila said, well, you need a video camera and a tripod. No, I ain't trying to do all of that. I did that back in the day. There was a camera in the closet, and yeah. Anyway, ooh, look at this sandwich. It looks so delicious. Mm. Mm-mm. Yummy. Rita said, don't encourage his bad behavior. Mm-mm. That's right, Rita. You tell them. But long time ago, I dated this lady. She called herself Creamy. That was her nickname, Creamy. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Creamy. Yeah, bad behavior is fun behavior. Tell her, and this is coming from Sister Teresa. hmm Tell Rita, you know, bad behavior is fun behavior. I try to tell this other young lady, she's a friend of mine that I met a couple of years ago when I first started doing the show on VON. And this lady's only 33 years old, and all she talks about is, these young men out here, and these young men out here. You're only 33 years old. Oh, they have no home training, and this, that, and the other. And they don't go to church. I'm like, okay. I'm like, instead of 33, she's more like 63. She's like done. What do you think about Kevin Samuels passing away from a heart attack? Good question, Greg. Um, I still don't believe it. Neither do the old ones. I know, right? I was um, I was shocked to hear about Kevin Samuels dying. You know, I heard some of his postings and podcasts and everything else, but I I'm still trying to get over Bobby OJ passing. Here is a man who was in excellent shape, you know, who had become a vegan and everything else, you know. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. He was always, talking fitness and everything else. And I kind of liked. Good evening, Queen. I kind of like what he was saying. You know, he was only speaking the truth, and sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. And everything that he was saying, it was like, these women need to. How old was he? He wasn't that old. He wasn't as old as 57. Thank you. Which is way too young. He was into fitness and everything, but he was into telling the truth. You know, how women expect a man to make six figures and they sitting at home with six kids. Figure that, you know, or guys that hit on girls and they know that those women or those girls are out of their league. You know, I stopped thinking that a long time ago, thinking that someone's out of my league. It's like either you talk to me or you don't. Whether you're you know, whether you're an alderman or or a model or actress or whatever. I'm like, if I'm interested in you and I'm showing interest, I don't care what you do. You know, I tried to holler at Vesta, a world-renowned singer. I was in love with Phyllis Hyman. Would have loved to have talked to her. You know, Rita. She's very down to earth. You know, she doesn't brag about what she's got. I mean, she's got a whole old crib in Colorado and two cars and a 10-pound dog. But, She doesn't thumb her nose at any men, and that's it. And that's a good thing. It's the souls that make the connection. Thank you, Greg. It's the souls that make the connection, you know, and not anything else, you know. Um, my first wife, she made more money than me. My second wife, she made more money than me. But there was a big difference. The first wife didn't care about how much money I didn't make, you know. A couple of times she had paid my car note. I was like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, souls make the connection. It's not about what you have, it's what you have to offer, and not monetarily. You know, I told my second wife one time, I said I would live with you in a cardboard box. I would make it a duplex and put a box on top of that box. And she laughed. I was like, I'm serious, you know. I'm on my way to Lower Wacker to find a box now before I get there so I can make me a duplex. But that was just me, you know. Free Life, produced by Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And wish you were here, right here on Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Condolences go out to the family of Kevin Samuelson. He was a self-proclaimed relationship guru on social media, and he spoke the truth. You know, he was talking about women who expect men to make six figures and they're sitting home with six kids. You know, it's like, what do you have to offer? What do you have to bring to the table besides a link card? You know, here you are spending, hundreds of dollars on your hair and nails, and you want someone to pay for it. Excuse me. You know, that doesn't make sense. These days, everybody in the house has to be making money. Those six kids, you, and whomever you talk to, everybody's got to make some money these days. Either that or you got to do like I do, and that's to have six jobs. And that's it. You know, my kids hit me up for money almost every day. Cash app request from son, daughter, niece, you know. So I have to keep ahead of the game or just say no, right? But it's so hard to say no to your children. Daddy, can you send me $25? You know how black women sound or black girls sound when they say daddy. They don't say daddy. They say daddy. Daddy. They don't say daddy. They say almost like Diddy. Daddy. Like, okay, all right, here's the $25. You just reach in your pocket and give it to them. No matter how old they get and how many husbands they have, there it is. LT said, no is my favorite word. Well, I'm a sweetheart. See, the difference is, LT, your children were always with you. My children, I only saw them on the weekend. When I would see Larice, I would have to drive all the way, 20, 25 minutes to go see her. So whatever she wanted when I got there was like, here, I would empty out my pockets for her. And all she really wanted was my time. That's my baby. That was my first one there. To Dr. Al Greer, this is Bedtime Stories with Dee Dee Sharp. I heard Al Greer was once the fourth runner for in the Lewis Gossett Junior Lookalike Contest. Daddy, can you send me $1,000? I can send you half. I could send you 500, but mm-mm. I mean, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes it's hard to say no. Sometimes, you know, but I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything, you know, and that's it, you know. My thing is, I didn't come in this world with a lot of money. I I think the most money I ever made was when I was at GCI, and that to me, at that age, was a lot of money. I was in my early 20s, late 30s, no, early late 20s, early 30s at the time. That was the most money I'd ever made in my life. I was like, wow. I was working Sunday through Thursday from 10 until 2 o'clock. I had my weekends off. I had my days off. And, I had direct deposit. So you know, my check would be in the bank every 2 weeks. And that was good money. Janine says, when I was preparing for a husband, I just wanted a man who could take care of himself. He didn't have to give me a dime. He didn't have to. He he didn't mind pitching in a little extra if if I had to, or I didn't mind. And I hear you. And that's the way it should be. That is exactly the way it should be. Um, because what happens is when a woman becomes dependent on a man, that's it. What happens when that man is gone? If he can't work, if he ain't here, I mean, what if he gets into an accident and he can't work? Or even worse, you have to already have something lined up in your life that says, okay, I can take care of myself. But those women who depend on a man, it's like you're going to be lost if that man is gone. You will be lost. You know, there's a person on this line that will tell you that you would be lost. Yeah. Sister Teresa says, I cook, I clean, I work, and so does he. We do it together. And that's the way it should be. Yeah. Factual, actual, concrete truth stated. Uh, I hear you. That sounds like Rico. That sounds like Rico saying that. I only have to look up at that. But there's a saying: if you don't work, you don't eat. But it's even better when you guys do it together. When you do things together. Queen says, Mama taught her daughters to be worker bees. And that's it. That's the way it should be. You know, you shouldn't depend on anyone except God. That's the only person that you should depend on, you know. And like Teresa said, we do it together. And that's the way it should be. Marriage is 50-50. It's not 80-20, not 70-30. It's 50-50 love. You know, it's like What do you all bring to the table? And women think that, what they bring to the table is, and y'all ain't gonna like this, it's worth paying for. If you think I'm going to pay for that down there, I will go to Rush Street and double it for someone that I don't even know. I'm just saying. It right. Rita said it should be 100, and you're right. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. When you take your vows, it should be like that. You know, both of you will have to bring something to the table, and it should not be, a one-sided thing. You know, but once again, what if that man can't work? You just have to, it's just happy spouse, happy house. That's right. Right on. The five stair steps and the world of fantasy right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We are talking about the death of Kevin Samuels, um, self proclaimed, I guess, relationship advisor or expert. There are no experts out there. You can listen to Steve Harvey or Kevin or anybody else. There is no one who's an expert on it. It's whatever you make out of it that makes you the expert. Like Sister Teresa was saying, um, she says she cooks, she cleans, and they do it together. They both work. They both go to work every day, and then they come back home and put the money into the house, and that's really how you do it. Any woman that's out there looking for a man to take care of them is a lazy woman. Because what are you going to do while he's out there working besides have more kids and go to the beauty shop every 2 weeks and get your hair done and your nails done? So what are you bringing to the table? You know, we love the way you guys look when you come out of the beauty salon with your hair done. We love it when you sit up there and get your nails and your feet done. We love that. We also love, yeah, we love to eat. So if you can cook, it's all good. It's all good. It's your Dr. Al Greer. Excuse me. Bedtime Stories is sponsored by. I'm on disability now, but you best believe I contribute to the household. He says I don't have to, but I don't feel right depending on a man for everything. I hear you. Sheila says, you're dropping the gems tonight, Doc. Thank you. TC said, I never listened to Dude, but I heard so many negative things that he said about women of color. May he rest where he is placed. And that's just it. I don't agree with everything he says or has said, but some of it made sense. Some of it, but not all of it. But everybody has an opinion, and no one, absolutely no one, is an expert on relationships. On WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and WRLN, the best music of your life. It's your Dr. Al Greer. And we were talking about Kevin Samuels, or Samuelson, whatever the guy's name is, self-proclaimed relationship guru. TC said, I never listened to Dude, but I heard so many negative things about what he said of women of color. And TC said, may he rest where he is placed. Okay. And that's just it. No one that I know of I mean, I don't care how many degrees and diplomas you have on your wall when I go visit you. Nobody is an expert on relationships. It's, I mean, you go to marriage counseling or whatever, or separate counseling, but no one is an expert on how a relationship should go. You can talk to people and, like before I got married the first time, I would ask other married men who had been married, 10, 20, 30 years. I said, what's the secret? And one of the guys told me, he said, I have two phones. I said, excuse me? He said, I have two phones. He said, one phone is for, my wife to get in contact with me. He said, the other phone is for the ladies to get in contact with me. So you have two phones. So you're leading a dual life, a double life. You're a double agent, so to say. I was like, nah, I don't want that. I said, when I get married, it's just going to be me and her and me. And it's going to be forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. You're the Ebonies, and it's forever, right here on Bedtime Stories, with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. But, like I said, there's no right and no wrong way. The best way and the only way is communication. It's when you shut down and don't talk to that person. It's when you send text messages or emails to that person. That's not talking. To me, that is being a coward. Teresa said there's no such thing. What works for one couple may not work for the next. You know us, Brother Allen. We are happy. But what keeps us happy may not work for others. And you're absolutely right. What works for one person doesn't work for the other person. You know. I remember. Um, I remember. I remember. Um, Hold on. Pick it up on Thursday. But like I was saying, you're right. What works for one couple doesn't work for another couple. I um, went to therapy, and I mentioned this last night. Come on with it till death do us part. The only right one is time. Try in marriage eventually. There you go, Rico. Um, I went to therapy, and first thing the therapist asked me was like, "Why do you hate women?" I don't hate women. That's the problem. I can't say no. And that was the problem. That was the problem. It wasn't that I hated women. It's just that I couldn't tell one woman no and another woman yes. So I had to tell all of them yes. I didn't have to, but that back then, if any one woman paid me some attention, I was like, okay, you're interested in me? Troy Anthony says, I heard that Al snorted more powder than Tony Montana and Hollywood Henderson combined. Back in the day, yeah. Well, I had a friend named Sterling, and he and I did coke together. And to keep from him doing it, I did more than he did. Isn't that something? But anyway, so the both of us went to counseling back then together after that first counseling session by myself. And I told the counselor, can we all confirm Troy is crazy? Yes, he is. But that was it, Queen. I knew there was nothing wrong with me except for the fact that I couldn't tell a woman no. That was the only thing that was wrong. I couldn't tell a woman no. So if anyone paid me any interest, then I would go with them. I would follow them you know, to a cliff and jump off with them. Because, unlike some people, I wasn't, I wasn't that attractive as a kid. I didn't come into myself until I was like almost 21 years old. And after that, it was like, when a woman would find me attractive, I'd be like, you really think and most of the time it was just my voice. So I'm like, okay, I'll take them anywhere I can get them. But as I got older, I got more confident. Some people say I got more handsome. I'm not going to agree to that, but I got more confidence about it. Troy said it's always good to start counseling by saying, I know there's nothing wrong with me. Right. But, that was the whole thing back then. I got sent to counseling by myself. So at the suggestion of the counselor said, well, why don't you and your fiance, why don't the both of you all go to counseling together? I said, okay, relationship counselor. Sure. So I did. So we found this guy. His name was George Smith. I never will forget it. Dr. George Smith. He's on 111th and Western. And we both went to this counseling session. And come to find out, it wasn't me with the problem. It was her. And something came out that, probably should have come out way before we had to go to counseling. That's why I say it's imperative that you have a conversation with someone. Well, I didn't know all of this stuff, and it didn't come out until we went to counseling together that she had been molested as a child. So I knew nothing of that. So once I found out, I was like, okay, now I understand why she was getting dressed and undressed inside the closet. She had a walk-in closet. So she had to go in the closet to get dressed and or undressed to come to bed. I'm like, but you're about to come to bed and be semi-naked in the bed. And I couldn't figure that out until the counseling. I'm like, oh, Well, that's why. Okay, now I understand. So she felt dirty undressing in front of a man. So anyway, the counselor reminded Al it's required for him to notify all the neighbors that he's moved to their neighborhood, that he's a registered offender. Troy, yes, we all agree that Troy is out of his mind. But anyway, so so that's basically what happened with me. LT said, I'm about to exit stage left, not feeling good tonight. Everyone be well. All right, feel better, LT. I'll talk with you soon, I hope. But, once I found out how she felt, then I could deal with it better. Why she would come to bed with one of those big old nightshirts on and not a nightie. Why she would, you know, come to bed basically fully clothed and those clothes are about to come off. So one time we went to Las Vegas. Well, you know what they say, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. It most certainly did. She went out and bought all these sexy nightgowns and high heels and everything else, and she took all of that stuff to Vegas. And she would go in the bathroom and she would get, in these outfits. And she would come out and I could see that she was uncomfortable with this on. I was like, wow, okay. So did I, maybe I pushed her to this and she wasn't ready for it. So, but that's just it. She wasn't ready to be sexy. She had never had to be sexy. It was just, and there's a difference between, um, can you tell everyone else here is uncomfortable too? But anyway, but yeah, I think everybody else is uncomfortable as well. So maybe we'll change the subject. Um, that's why no one's saying anything, and LT all of a sudden got a headache. But anyway, but back to the relationship thing. I know no one's answering to this or commenting to this. Um, you can be in a relationship with someone and not be connected to them, which is weird. You know, you know, you connect on different levels, and I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Earth, wind, and fire, and I write a song for you. Happy birthday to Philip Bailey, who had a birthday recently. Congratulations. I I don't know how old he is. He's got to be like 68 or something, or something like that. Anyway, it's your Dr. Al Greer. We were talking about the relationship guru that just recently passed. Of course, he didn't have all the answers. And, we listen to Steve Harvey sometimes, and he posts his videos and everything else. It's like, okay, no one, absolutely no one that I know of has the answers to everything. But I saw a meme once, and it simply said, "Those who pray together stay together." You can't have an argument if you have a Bible in between the two of you all. That is the truth, unless one of you all is an atheist. So keep God first. And I say this at every wedding reception that I do. Never go to bed angry, because you never know when one of you all is not going to wake up that next day. So make sure you don't go to bed angry. Work it out before you go to sleep with that person. Make sure that you tell that person before you go to bed, you know, we need to work this out and we should not go to bed angry. Because if one of us doesn't wake up, it's going to hurt worse than the argument that we had the night before. So, people, I tell you, those of you who are in a relationship with someone, whether you be married, dating, or whatever, make sure the two of you all don't go to bed angry. Because if you wake up and that person next to you ain't moving, yeah, then that whole argument is moot. I had a young lady tell me she didn't want to see me anymore once, and I laughed, and she didn't see me anymore. She passed on. Here's delegation. Philip Bailey is 71. Good Lord. 71. Good Lord. 1951 made him 71. Thank you. I, I I was just kidding, LT. I beg your pardon, sir. If I said I don't feel well, that's exactly what it is. However, I have nothing to say because every relationship is different. And what those people doing it is their business. You're absolutely right. And I was not making light of your not feeling well. I would never do that. You know better than that. You know me better than that. You've known me longer than anybody on here, so I just hope you feel better. And trust me, I understand. I've known you, and I know when you don't feel well, you don't feel well, whether it's physically or mentally. I know you don't feel well. So I totally understand. I totally do. So feel better, and I'll call and check on you tomorrow. Ooh, tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, hallelujah. I can't wait. That means the start of the weekend. Woo! And on that note, I'm going to go to the little boy's room. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. Anyway, now good night. I said good day, sir. I said good day. Anyway, um, but I understand. Trust me, I understand more than you think I do. But oh, by the way, the picture was lovely, LT. That was a very touching picture that she posted on her Facebook page. It was very touching, very touching. You know, too touching, as a matter of fact. As you know how I felt about that child of mine, that niece of mine. You know how I felt about her. Woo, boy. Anyway, back to the relationship information. But every relationship is different. One rule doesn't apply to everyone. Me, I do the same thing that I do in all relationships, and that is to be a gentleman, to open doors, to, you know, hold hands when we're sitting in the car, when I'm driving. That's what I do. That's who I am. You know, jump out of the car and, open the umbrella so she can not get wet getting in the car. So, I heard Lisa Marie Presley divorced Al because he was a weirdo. No one's weirder than Michael Jackson. But anyway, once again, every relationship is different. There is, and like Queen Janine just said, some take more work than others. I remember one night having a conversation. We're sitting there watching television. This was my second wife, and we're sitting there watching television. And all of a sudden, she reaches over and grabs the remote and turns the TV off. Well, any other guy would jump up and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I turned to her. She said, "Is this the way it's supposed to be?" I said, "Is what the way it's supposed to be?" The way we're getting along. Yes. Where I may not agree with everything you do, I respect what you do and what you say. I respect you as a person. I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but I will say this: we didn't do a lot of fussing and fighting. Totally different from the first marriage. Second marriage, not so much fussing and fighting. The first one, every every waking moment, she did something strange that I didn't like. But I had to understand where it was coming from. Like the night that my phone rang at 3 o'clock in the morning and she went to grab it. Of course, back then they didn't have a lock on the phone or do not disturb on the phone. So now they do. So my phone will not ring past 3 o'clock. It won't ring past 10:30. In like 3 minutes, my phone will go on, do not disturb. And that's it. But the difference between the first wife and the second wife, we had more conversation. I think that was the difference. Sometimes I think we should have talked even more in the second marriage. The first, she always had an opinion about something. Like if I looked at someone, if they walked directly in front of the car, did you know her? No. It's just a natural reaction. But some people, that was disrespectful. Others be like, yeah, I saw her too. Old girl had a big old booty, didn't she? Um, yeah, baby. You looked to, yeah, shoot, you couldn't miss it. I'm like, oh, so it's okay to look. Yeah, as long as you don't jump out of the car and try to chase her. Like, oh, okay. Ah, ah. I love their harmony. Enchantment, E.J. Johnson, and Gloria, right here on Bedtime Stories with the peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And like I was saying, the difference between my first marriage and my second marriage, I think um, the first marriage I had more conversation than the second one. Second one, I couldn't get her to talk to me. The first one, I couldn't get her to shut up. It's like, would you shut up? But anyway, um, different strokes for different folks. What works for some doesn't work for others. So, but I think communication is the key to keeping any relationship together. That, and of course, praying, because you can't fight when you're praying. If you have a Bible between the two of you all, there's no way that you guys can have a fight unless one of you all is an atheist. Then you might have a problem there. You might you might have to kick her out. It's like, what? You don't believe in God? Oh, that's a deal breaker to me. You don't believe in Jesus? What? Oh no, you got to go. Uh-uh. You got to get out of here right now. I ain't going where you're going. Trust me. Anyway, it's your Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Coming up in a half an hour from now, we're going to do foreplay. Right now, the dramatics. Just shopping, not buying anything. There's something that I don't know how many of you all are fans of Jerry Springer. Um, Jerry said once, he has a final thought at the end of every show. He said sometimes when you're in a relationship, um, that he said a relationship shouldn't seem like it's work at all. In other words, it shouldn't feel like one person is trying to make it work and the other one is trying to destroy it. It should be a mutual thing. It should be a thing where it is a natural progression. It should be a thing where you all are on the same level or thinking the same way or, that whole thing. It shouldn't be, well, you go your way and I go mine. Kind of like with, and some people, not going to name any names, some people are in open relationships where they date other people, but they still remain married. There is a line in the marriage vows. It says to forsake all others. And I always believe that. As long as I was married, I would not fool around. As long as I was married. Let me repeat that. As long as I was married, I didn't fool around. At least as long as I thought I was married, I didn't fool around. But that's just it. When you're in a committed relationship, then you should be committed to that person. And that's it. Not, you know, not anything else. Excuse me. You should be in a committed relationship. Jerry Springer was once the mayor of Cincinnati. My mother was his assistant. Really? Wow. That's cool. Yeah. But some of Jerry's shows made sense. What really made sense out of his shows were the final thoughts. Now the rest of the show, I don't know. That was just pure entertainment. Some of those people weren't even what they were or what they said they were on television. Some of them were actors. You must admit, some of them were acting. Especially some of those transsexuals, they were acting. So that was it. But I will say this: he did make a lot of sense at the end of the show. He made sense out of people making a fool out of themselves. But he did say when a relationship works and it doesn't seem like work at all, is what he said. When a relationship works where it's no work at all, in other words, you all just gel. It's like you move your hand over and she grabs it. She knows you're going to grab her hand. And that's how it was. Jerry got paid big bucks. Yeah, he did. And that's how it was with my second wife. If I did something that she didn't like, I'd be like, "Oh, babe, I didn't know that." I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" She said, "I don't like it when you do this, when you get right in my face." It's like, "You mean like?" She said, "Don't do that." I said, "Why, if I may ask?" She said, "Our ex used to do that." You know, he did it to the point where, he was antagonizing her. And I understood, and I never did it again. The only time I would do that was when I leaned over to kiss her. And that's it. But sometimes you have to feel a person out. It's not always easy getting into a relationship. And it's even harder keeping that relationship going, especially when outside people, how it is, ladies. Girl, I wouldn't do that. Girl, I would kick him out. Girl, he don't need to be. Girl, this, girl, that. It's like, ladies, when you listen to your friends and they say what you shouldn't do, that's because they're not happy. They might say that they're happy for you. They might tell you, "Oh man, I'm happy for you, girl. You needed a man, and this, that, and the other." And then on the other hand, she hating. So that's always been the thing, in past relationships. It's always someone in the background that's hating. Somebody posted a picture today. These two people were sitting at a game holding hands, and then there's that woman that's staring at the both of them like, you know, and that's just it. When you let outside people inside, it never ends well. When they're on the outside looking in. Ladies, don't discuss your business with your best friend, your girlfriend, sometimes, in some cases, your sister, because they will get, yeah. Would you say Jerry's still getting paid? That's what's up. Mm-mm. Show me, show me, show me the emotions and show me how. Right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to TC, also to Queen Janine, and, and of course Troy. TC said Jerry Springer was once the mayor of Cincinnati, and her mother was his assistant. That is so cool. That, of course, was long before he became, a big TV star. You know, the last show he was on was Judge Jerry. I guess he finally said, "Okay, I quit. I'm done." You know, and he got paid very well. Jerry Springer was known around the world as the ringmaster. And I asked him once. I said, "Will there be a ringmaster too?" And he said, "Possibly." And he left it at that. Anyway, hello to my brother from another mother, Tyrone Handy Sr., of course, who is the pastor of my church, Build Up Community Outreach. We have church every Sunday inside the Zion Lutheran Church. I couldn't think of that I had a brain fart. Zion Lutheran Church. Church starts at 11:45. I'm sorry, 12:45. Well, sometimes you got to tell people early so that they get there on time. But our church starts at 12:45 on Sunday. So make sure, if you don't have a church home, come see us, all right? We were each other's counselors at one time, but that's another story. Russell Baker, what's going on? Shake and bake. The peanut butter brother is here. Also, the doctor is in, giving advice tonight. Here's Frederick's Gentle on Bedtime Stories. That's right, 9901 South Winston, 1245. Come on down and worship with us. You know, we should be packed this Sunday, right? I'm just saying. Uh, Queen Janine said, I have a girlfriend who wants to marry her abuser and asked me to be in her wedding. I told her I couldn't stand with her and be okay with a man beating her. My mother eventually got her away from him. That's a good thing. And TC hit the nail on the head when she said, again, settling for less. Ladies, you shouldn't have to settle for less. You shouldn't. So, but anyway, back to my pastor in the church. Make sure you, if you don't have a church home, except for TC because she doesn't live here, come on down and see us and worship with us. 12:45 on Sunday, 9901 South Winston, inside the Zion Lutheran Church, is where we have our church. So come on down and see us. Boss Man, what's going on, Michi? I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at a show. Okay. Boss Man, of course, has been to our church before. As a matter of fact, he came for not a wedding, but a funeral. So he knows exactly where our church is. So, Boss Man, if you're in town on Sunday, come down and see us, all right? 9901 South Winston. Well, you know where it is. You were there before. TC said, I watched the service when you go live on FB. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. And I hope to be in service. Hey, I'm at the same polka concert in Milwaukee right now. Mm-mm. Early riser, 3:20 a.m. All right, Pastor. Make sure you leave it on because I'll be doing a tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire tonight because um, Philip Bailey's birthday was on the 8th. So I'm doing Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of your favorite groups, in foreplay tonight. So switch over to the music part and listen to that as you go to sleep. And tell my sister I said hello. And thank you for stopping through. I appreciate it. My pastor also works for the CTA. He's a train operator and I think a supervisor now. He moved up quickly at CTA, especially during the pandemic. It's like some people, like I ain't coming to work. I got to, breathe and everything else. These people's germs and stuff. She said hello. All right. My sister from a red line. There you go. Yep, he's on the red line. Jesus on the red line. Tell him what you want. Oh no, that's wrong song. Sorry. Jesus is on the main line. He might be on the red line too, the green line and the purple line. You never know. What's that song? If he was one of us, just a slob like one of us. I love that song. On the bus, on his way home. You never know. You never know who's sitting next to you on the bus or the train. So you never know. Since we're talking about love, let me request "If You Love Me" by Mint Condition. Sure, absolutely. Yep, I hear you. Uh, you definitely, when you're on that train with them folks, I know the feeling. I try, not to have to take public transportation, um, because it's scary, especially with this pandemic going on. Every day I get my coffee from the Dunkin' Donuts, which is right across the street from the 79th Street bus terminal, where they you know take off and all on the buses, and I'm like, wow. And I see these guys, they're uniformed up, got their hats on and their the blue outfits and everything else, and they all masked up. I'm like, man, that is got to be nerve wracking to have to, you have to wear your mask all day, every day when you go to work on the CTA because you never know who has been vaccinated and who hasn't. Slick Vic, what's going on, sir? So we and I just shake my head and I'm like, and I'm always tempted to ask them. I said, when are you going to retire? Now, a friend of mine, his name is DJ Kenny G. He was uh, bus operator for years, and he just recently retired, maybe 2 years ago. But he still gets up early in the morning, like he's going somewhere. So, but it's got to be nerve wracking. My other brother from another mother, Sydney, he recently retired from the CTA. So yeah, he doesn't have to put up with that. He can sit in the backyard now and smoke a pack of squares and sit in he got the whole backyard. He got a pool back there and a sauna. So he's good to go. So Janine says my sister's doctor told her employer that they had to pay for her gas and parking every day if they wanted her to go back to the office. Okay. How did that work out, though? That's all right. Pay for her gas if they wanted her to go back to the office and parking. Speaking of parking, and I know he's probably already in the bed and on his way to sleep. Um, the parking lot that we use used to be managed by my pastor, and that's Hunter Parking, and we park in that lot every day. There's an underground parking lot, and then there's the outside parking. But he used to be the manager for that parking lot. I'm like, wow, what a coincidence, because I park there every day. Well, I park outside. There's no need for me to park underground because you have to pay to get in there. Now the outer lot, you pretty much take your chances. You can pay, what is it? I think it's $10, and then they don't tow your car. But that $10 a day kind of adds up. Every day, $10 a day, $50 a week. That's gas money right there. Queen Janine says she still works from home. I know that's right. They ain't getting up off that money, right? Ain't getting up off that money. So, hey, that's a good thing. Sometimes, hey, I mean, it's if you can work at home, that's a great thing. You know, that's a great thing. But I wish, I wish that I could work at home. I mean, as you can see, I have everything that I need to work with here at the house where I don't necessarily have to go anywhere and do anything. But, you know, but that's just me. Now, if I could get away with it and work at home every day, oh man, that would be gravy, baby. Gravy. Because I sure would. I would stay home and enjoy it. Like I'm enjoying this now.
Testing 1, 2. The airport.
There we go.
The airport.
There we go. Yeah. Password to a website with. Oh, Troy, you're just yeah. Oh, you're just full of it tonight, Troy. Internet porn, I tell you. I'm editing a commercial as we speak, by the way, hoping that it won't go over the air. Mint condition, if you love me. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. And some pretty good conversation sometimes, as long as it's not coming from Troy. But anyway, but Queen Janine was mentioning that a friend of hers um, was still working at home. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good thing. Work from home. Everybody's been doing it since 2020, right? And then you're welcome, Queen. and they were saying that telling her that if she wanted to come back to work or wanted her to come back to work, then they were going to have to pay for her, her gas and her parking. So she's still working at home. Like, we ain't doing that. I pay $10 a day for parking at Hunter. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I don't pay every day. Some days I get away with it. Some weeks I get away with it. But every now and then there'll be a tow truck out there. So you have to. We watch out for each other. So that way we don't get our cars towed away. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Saying hello to Mr. and Mrs. Handy, my brother and sister. Thank you so much for checking me out on Facebook Live. Here's Friends of Distinction. This is going in circles on Bedtime Stories. Her immune systems are seriously compromised, so they should let her stay at home if they want her to work, right?
37th Annual AMAC Airport Business Diversity Conference, Redefining Aviation.
They should let her stay at home then.
Redefining Aviation Opportunities from June 20th to the 23rd, 2022 in Chicago, Illinois. AMAC's annual Airport Business Diversity Conference connects over 1,000 businesses, aviation professionals,
I love editing her commercials.
and government officials, and serves as a hub for education, advocacy, and networking opportunity that promote diversity and inclusion in the aviation and aerospace industries. For more information and to register, visit
There we go.
amac-org.com org.com/annual conference.
Thank you, Sam. But yeah, everyone should be allowed to. You made it. I see. Hey, Countess. Yeah, everyone should be allowed to work at home if, um, first of all, if they can do so. Second of all, if, if they have, like you said, if her immune system is compromised, then she shouldn't have to go anywhere. She should be left alone at home and allowed to work. I mean, don't you guys agree? Yeah, I agree. Let me find some nice music.
Testing 1, 2. Half of what I say.
What happened to all my music? All right, go back. Stop. Yeah, they should be allowed to, stay at home and work. And be allowed to come to work, if they can. I mean, it's just it makes sense. It's just it's just common sense. I'm just saying, but what do I know, right? Where is my music? Nope, that ain't it either. I will find it. While I do that, I'll do this. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mm-mm. All right, let's see now. Downloads. Here we go. There we go. Nope, not quite what I was looking for. I know, right? The world is taking it hard with this COVID, yeah. Yep. This COVID is doing more than killing people, it's killing spirits. A lot of people don't want to leave the house because of that. I know one person in particular where, you know, they wish they could retire like right now. And I understand. I really do. I will be all day listening to country and rock. Wow. From DC, The Fuzz, and I Love You for all seasons. For so many reasons. For all seasons. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. It's Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Hello to Countess. Thank you for checking in. Also to TC and Queen Janine. And this show is brought to you by our good friends at don't like that one either. His wings and nachos. Yes, I wrote a report.
The Airport Minority Advisory Council, also known as AMAC, and the Chicago Department of Aviation present the third
on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, and of course World Vibe Radio. Where did they come in? Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, they may still be carrying me. I don't know, but I know I'm on the best music of your life, WRLN. It is your Dr. Al Greer, and there is, Countess said, there is no soul where I live. That's right, you're in Iowa, where they listen to country and rock. They need a black station there. How about us? Anyway, it's time for foreplay. This group was formed by a gentleman by the name of Maurice White. First, they were the Salty Peppers. That name didn't catch on too well. He was a session musician at Chess Records and a member of the second carnation of the Ramsey Lewis Trio. He played drums. Well, he took his influence of jazz, R&B, and gospel music and turned it into the sound that we know of as Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is after his astrological sign, which is Sagittarius. Recently, one of the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire just had a birthday, and that's Mr. Philip Bailey. Happy birthday to Philip Bailey, and we feature the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Happy birthday, Phil. It's foreplay. All right, let me finish up my commercial here. Oh, don't want to finish.
The Airport Minority Advisory Council, also known as AMAC, and the Chicago Department of Aviation present the 37th Annual AMAC Airport Business Diversity Conference, redefining aviation opportunities together. From June 20th to the 23rd, 2022, in Chicago, Illinois, AMAC's annual Airport Business Diversity Conference connects over 1,000 businesses, aviation professionals, and government officials, and serves as a hub for education, advocacy, and networking opportunities that promote diversity and inclusion in the aviation and aerospace industries. For more information and to register, visit amac-org.com/annual conference.
That should be good enough, don't you think? Sending that right over now. Elo, Elo. About love. See, quick access. KBBG is black owned and operated in Waterloo, Iowa. Is it? Never heard of them. Never heard of that station. KBBG. I have to check them out. Sounds interesting. KBBG. Her. Good night, Queen. Said the Sandman is calling me. No, he ain't. You just want to go play with your husband. That's all. It's all about love, yeah. Sorry. I knew that would get you. Like, what? Do what? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Play with my what? You just want to go rub your husband's feet, don't you? Anyway, good night, good night, Queen. Ah, we, hey, anything is possible. You never know. Anyway, mm-mm. Oh no. Ah, yes, love is grand. I tell you, they started in a house 40 years ago across the street from my grandparents. Newell Street. Are we talking about? Are we still talking about the radio station, Ken? And Janine said, a lot can change after therapy. All right, Queen. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, anything is possible. Yep, anything is possible. She said, I got to check it out. I have to find a radio station. I know that. Either that or you're going to go crazy. That's just like in Minneapolis, um, which is close to where Elo is. There are no black stations out there either. You know, which leads me to believe or to wonder how Prince heard all these songs from these people, and I guess he must have went to concerts when he was a kid. So Ken says, look at KBBG and Waterloo Hour. It has some great black history. I'm gonna check it out. As a matter of fact, oh, here we go again. All right, third revision. Okay. Mm-mm. He didn't listen to much radio. He made his own. That's pretty much it. Prince did make his own music. Um, but they mentioned that he went to a James Brown concert, and that was it for him. you know. So he may have gone to record shops and got his music because there weren't very many radio stations that played, the people that he grew up listening to, Graham Central Station, Sly and the Family Stone, yeah, because they were integrated groups. So I could hear how he, listened to them. And of course, Hendrix was playing all over the radio in the 70s, the early 70s. So, old Prince, I tell you. Sing, Maurice. But yep, Prince was, need I say, he was a genius. He made his own. I heard Al has been banned from all public pools in the Chicago area. Oh, no. Troy, you are a nut, sir. KMOJ is here in Minneapolis. Not sure if it's black owned. What's their format, though? Should be a WMPG, New Power Generation. I should have done that a long time ago. I should have gone to Minneapolis and, you know, started WNPG just in tribute to him. That would have been great. I would have taken a whole crew of Chicago people and uprooted them to Minneapolis and started a whole radio station there. Soul music, okay. Yeah. But the question is, Elo, how long had they been there? You know, because there weren't very many urban stations back in the I would say late '60s, early '70s. Not at least not there. So KMOJ. To KBBG. Waterloo, Iowa. Okay, there we go. Closed. Afro American Community Broadcasting, 88.1. Oh, they're a non commercial educational radio station licensed to serve the community of Waterloo. They're owned by the Afro American community. Okay. We'll have to check that out. Check it out. Check it out. Can't Google it now. Working. Okay. Oh, they're educational. 9,500 watts. Okay. Ken. Okay, let me find the other station. That's KMOJ. 89.9. I got it, Elo. KMOJ is a community oriented nonprofit FM radio station in Minneapolis, Minnesota, airing a predominantly urban adult contemporary radio format. Subchannels: The Ice, Hip Hop. Okay. First air date September 15th, 1978, 43 years ago. There you go. No wonder. They're branding 89.9 KMOJ, I'm sorry. 6,200 watts. Woohoo, FM. That's not bad. Features soul, blues, urban, gospel, reggae, jazz, hip hop, spoken word, and talk shows aimed at African American listeners. It's owned and operated by the nonprofit Center for Communications and Development located in Minneapolis North Side. Interesting. They began as a very low power radio station that reached only a few blocks from its studios and transmitter. Interesting. They began in 1978 of September. They were 89.7 with 10 watts of power from the transmitter and the antenna atop a high rise near the studios at 810 Fifth Avenue. A frequency change to 89.9 coincided with a power increase of 1,000 watts. Woo! Wow. In 2011, they moved their transmitting facility from its longtime original site to a new facility in the northern suburb of Arden Hills and increased its power to 6,200 watts. The old transmitter was given to a radio station in Nigeria on the same frequency. Whoa. So they're relatively new. You know, they weren't around when Prince was around. You know, when he was younger is what I meant. So KMOJ. Interesting. I might be able to get a job there in Minneapolis. Who knows? Interesting. I'm going to read up on these stations tonight, or at least before I go to bed. Mm-mm. Be in Chicago next week. Okay, I'll be here too. Are you coming to see me or something? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you where to meet me. Yeah. Tell Grandpa I said hi. Yeah. Come on home. Come on home. Welcome back to the Shy. Yep. Come on home, honey. Come on home. Mm-mm. We can make that happen. Got to send you the video of him at the party. No, right? The look on his face, like, what the hell's my granddaughter doing? What is that? Who is that man? Mm-mm. Who is that man? Check out that money situation. I know, right? I still haven't talked to him. Mm-mm. Yeah. You know, and it's funny, Countess. I just kind of wrote it off. You know, I'm like, he hasn't reached out to me, or anything. So I'm like, nah. I guess he thought I was doing it just because. So, had it been Ramosky or somebody, I'm sure he would have gotten paid for it. I'm just saying, I'm sure he would have gotten paid. You better stop calling me honey. You know I'm single. Oh, okay. What should I call you, Countess? Mm. Ooh, that tuna's coming back up. Mm. Back in my Taste Kitten days, Marie would say, "Get your money up front." That was good advice from Marie. Absolutely. Great advice. Absolutely right. She was absolutely right. But I didn't think that would happen. You speak to my soul like that. Woo. I hear you. Start making people pay a deposit just in case they cancel or you get or you don't get all your money. Well, this was just MC gig. So that's totally different, I guess. Is that the Williams Pizza that was on Ashland? This one is downtown. It's the same name. It's just in a different location. All right, y'all. That's right. Give it to him. Philip Bailey. Happy birthday. 71 years old. To Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, wrapping up Foreplay, brought to you in part by Williams Inn Pizza, 2210 South Michigan Avenue. The pizza is great. Thick crust, or deep dish as we call it here in Chicago. Thin crust. They have sandwiches. If you like Italian beef sandwiches, they have those with the hot peppers and the cheese on it. They also have the cheesy bread, which is the garlic bread, which is so good. I mean, people stay in there all night. They get a whole big pizza and they sit there and eat that whole pizza all night. It is delicious and it's fresh. You can actually taste the tomatoes. They use a certain sauce. They don't use regular sauce. They use some special sauce, I guess. I don't know. Kind of like McDonald's, the secret sauce. But it's always fresh. It is always fresh. Williams and Pizza, a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Give them a call or go online at williamsandpizza.com. That's williamsandpizza.com. Counted said that pizza filled me up, and yes, it does. It will. And TC said pizza will give you a hell of a heartburn if you eat it late. See, that's why you got to come there early on Friday when I'm there, starting at 7 o'clock, and then you eat then. And then by the time you leave, it'll be nice and digested, and you can go right to sleep with no heartburn at all. All right? It's your Dr. Al Greer. This is the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, giving him something he can feel. That pizza was thick, full of ingredients back in the day. We used to stay up till 5 a.m., me and Venus, the dancer, rest in peace. Not me. Okay, what time Friday? 7 o'clock. 7. I need some water. I sure am dry tonight. Yep, I'm there at 7 o'clock on Fridays. 2210 South Michigan Avenue. In the heart of the loop. South Loop, that is. Mm-mm. You bringing your grandpa? Sure, bring him. Okay. If he likes pizza, he'll love that. He'll love Williamson Pizza. Yep, he will love it. Do come true. Yep, bring your grandpa. Giving him something he can feel. Giving him something he can feel. Yes. Mm-mm. Giving him something he can feel. Where did Troy go? He sure is quiet. I sent you the video on Messenger. Hold on, let me see. Let me see what you're working with. Grandpa jamming there, ain't he? With all those pimps around him. TC, hopefully to bed. Well, TC, thank you for staying up with me as long as you did. I really appreciate it. Um, since you're no longer on third shift, you can get some real sleep now. Oh, you were talking about Troy. Oh. We woke him up, didn't we? Oh no. TC, you don't even know what Troy looks like. He might be a handsome devil or just a devil. I don't know. Depending on how you look at him. Mm-mm. Hopefully, I get to record Sunday. If so, I'll bring you a copy. Okay, cool. That's what's up. TC said, I'm married. I'm not looking. She knows what I look like. That's why she's all over me. She also knows I'm Polish. Okay. The soul pole. Mm-mm. Y'all go ahead and hash it out. I'm right in the middle. I am in the middle. I am not in it. I am Bennett and I'm not in it. Nope. I'm not getting involved. Mm-mm. Nope, I'm out of this. You all go right ahead and, you know, hash it out. Hash it on out there. Oh boy. My bed is calling me now. I don't know what it's calling me, but it's calling me. Ooh, is it Wednesday already? Oh, wow. That means this is the last show of the week. You guys had me the whole week, and I thank you all for having me in your homes, in your cars, in your bedrooms, especially your bedrooms, yes. So is my grandfather. He Polish. Oh, okay. Hmm. May have made a love connection here. Let me- don't, please don't encourage me. Thank you. Well, that's good. Maybe you're getting back to your good sleep cycle, on a good sleep cycle. I hope so, Sheila. I really do. Yep, a good sleep cycle. I don't know what that means, but a good sleep cycle, I don't know. Whatever that might be. But I hope one day that I do get on a good sleep cycle or a good bicycle. But anyway, whichever. Or unicycle, whichever. So I got to shout out one of my, our pleasure, thank you. Shout out one of my coworkers. His name is Atiba Buchanan. This afternoon, he brought Chinese food for the entire crew. he, he came. He came in my office or the studio that I work from. He was like, "Are you still asleep? Are you still asleep, Doc?" I was like, "Barely." I'm like, he said, "I should have told him no MSG. That tends to make you sleepy." Yeah, and it tends to do other things to my body as well. Because after I ate that Chinese food, I had to run straight to the bathroom. Yeah. Sheila said it's been said if you go to sleep at the same time and wake up every day at the same time. Oh, that's a sleep cycle. Okay. Yeah. Countess, yeah, the Chinese food did not agree with me. It was good though. Don't get me wrong. That Chinese food was delicious. I mean, either that or we were just hungry. We had shrimp fried rice, um, beef fried rice, and of course egg foo young. Before you break my heart. Gene Dunlap. And before you break my heart, right here on Bedtime Stories with the peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to Sheila Forrest, who's been hanging with us, Troy Anthony, aka the Soul Pole, and of course, TC. We were talking about earlier, one of my coworkers brought Chinese food to work today. And we were all checking on each other to see if we were still awake because everybody was getting the itis. Everybody wanted to go to sleep. The Chinese food was good. TC said, I never ate Chinese food and never will. Now, I got to say this. And, a lot of people are, either be upset or whatever. But there's certain Chinese food that I will not eat. One of those is anything that says beef. I don't know for sure if that's beef. I'm just saying. When you go with shrimp, like shrimp fried rice, shrimp egg foo young, you can't go wrong. If you go with noodles with shrimp in it, you can't go wrong. But it's when they, the beef and the chicken, I'm not too, okay, I'm going to leave that alone, just in case you might want to eat some Chinese food later on. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Here's the pride and joy of Harvey, Illinois, the Dells, and Stay in My Corner on Bedtime Stories. Vic, Vic said, beef cat, beef cat or dog. I know, right? I only do shrimp. I heard that. TC said I'm more of a soul food eater. And I hear you. As much as I love soul food, sometimes you have to, yeah. Collard, mustard, turnip greens, ham hocks, black eyed peas, yeah, cornbread, all of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It is good. But sometimes it's like not good for you. It's good that it's a Sunday dinner only. Now, black eyed peas and crowder peas, beans, and all of that stuff, that's good for you. They're good for you, you know. But the ham hocks and it's like, and don't get me wrong. When I was younger, I did not like chitterlings, and then I found out what chitterlings were. And my mother always said, "Don't knock until you try it." I said, "Okay, Mom." So she tried to get me to eat tofu, and she tried to get me to eat chitlins. I said, "But Mom, they stink." They would smell up the whole house from the kitchen to the bedrooms to the attic to the basement, and even outside. You could smell these, but it was the ingredients that she put in that killed the smell. Some people put a can of beer in there, and the beer not only makes the chitterlings tender, it also gives it its flavor. I said, okay. So, she put green peppers and onions and, potatoes in it and everything else. And I tried them. I tried chitterlings for the first time when I was a young adult, well, a teenager. And I loved them. Hot water cornbread, yes. I loved chitterlings. I could not get enough chitterlings. Whenever she would, whatever holiday it was, I couldn't wait. They cooked all night. That was too long, which meant I had to smell them all night and them not being in me. So she would let them, cook all night on a low fire all night. My dad, he never ate them. Never. I never saw my father eat chitterlings at all. He's like, I'm not going to eat that Negro food. So he never, but when I tried them, I was like, okay, Mom, I'm going to try. I'm okay. I was like, hey, these are kind of good. So that was it. Shannon Kamari Smith, what's going on? He said, good for him. He was right. Miss Williams said they good. I cook them. I love that smell. And Shannon, it depends on I know, right? Depends on where you're from or where your parents are from. Now, my mother was from Aberdeen, Mississippi. So that's it. I heard Al doesn't eat Chinese food because it doesn't come in a grape flavor. Anyway, Troy, I thought you were asleep. But anyway, a lot of people will not eat chitterlings because of the smell of it. You know, they can't get, we free now, slave food, right? You know, but back then, they ate everything, every part of the pig. You know, pork chops, ham, um, spare ribs, all of that. You know, all of that came from you know, from an animal that doesn't even sweat. I mean, at least cows sweat, right? You know, I think some Muslims they probably right from the rooter to the tutor. I know pig feet, pig ears. My mother used to make this stuff. It was called, now in the store they call it souse, but she called it hog head cheese, and it had pig ears in it and everything else. And she would put the ingredients and cut it up and put it in a blender, and she would put this gel in it, and she would put them in the refrigerator. Hog head cheese. That's right, Shannon. And my mother sold them at $10 a tin for the hog head cheese. I know, right, Shannon? Yuck. Same thing. I tried it. I was like, I don't know. I don't, you know. I'm like, what's in it? And when I saw the ingredients that went in, I was like, oh, hell no. It's the pig ears. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, once again, Shannon, she said, don't knock it until you try it. The only thing that my mother could not get me to eat was tofu. It had no taste to it. Sheila said that's what concerned me about pigs, since they don't sweat, but they get relief from rolling around in mud to cool off. Yeah. And we go ahead and eat them. Yeah. Yep. What the slave masters gave us. Yeah. Well, while they were eating, the pork chops and everything else, the good stuff, we were left with pig intestines. So it was like while they're eating these you know, big juicy pork chops, we were like, okay, well, what are we supposed to do with these? Huh. No pork on my pizza turkey. Oh, okay, that's what's up. I feel you. That pizza at Williams Inn is fire. I saw you there last Friday. Yep, I was there. I was there, Shannon. Yep. But over the years, Shannon, I stopped eating pork. I think the last time I had a pork chop was maybe, I can't even remember. But I do remember eating a pork chop and getting a headache the next day. It was as if I had eaten or had a drink or something like that. You know, it doesn't agree with me anymore. Once it's out of your system, that's it. And don't get me wrong, Shannon, I ate sausage and bacon and, you know, big, thick pork chops and the whole thing, and loved it. But the more pork I ate and the salt content in it, blood pressure just went off. Yep. Right. When you get off of it, you can't do it anymore. That's it. Once once you're done with it, it's like, clean slate. That once again, you've been delivered. I know that's right. Once again, that was when I do eat ribs, I soak them in apple cider vinegar to take the swineness out. Even then, I still don't. My sister, I love her. When she, like, for instance, when we have, I know, right? I can still stand the smell of bacon and sausage. I still love it. I just can't eat it. I will sit up there and I'll sniff the bacon, but I won't eat the bacon. And they sell it at what is it? Subway and Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, I'm not going. And it's processed. I'm like, this ain't real bacon. Don't even. But I've been freed from the pork. I can now go to the mosque with my bow tie on and say I've been freed. Come on now, passionate breezes. The Dells, two in a row from them, passionate breezes, and before that, we heard "Stay in My Corner." That's gonna do it for me. Do I have time to play one more song? Can I play one more song? Let me play this. I still have a little time. And it's a short song. It's up to TC and to Shannon Kamari Smith. Thanks for checking me out on Facebook. Here's Marvin and Tammy. Aloha Agba. Oh no. But hey, don't get me wrong. I'll smell some bacon, but I won't eat it. And turkey bacon and turkey sausage has no taste to it. Shannon, it has no taste. If they try to substitute turkey bacon and turkey sausage, it has no taste to it. It has no flavor. You know, turkey is turkey. How they turn it into sausage and turkey bacon, it's just, it has no taste to it. It tastes bland. Without that salty taste, it is just nothing. And there is nothing salty about a turkey. Nothing. You got to have that salty taste. I'm telling you, you know, close your eyes and pretend. Now, turkey, yeah. Turkey barbecue tips, yes. I will eat those because they got sauce on them. Ground turkey, I prefer that in my spaghetti as opposed to, ground beef. Ground turkey, you can season it any way you want to. And nobody will know that it's not, you know, ground beef, which is cool. Right. Ground turkey and tacos. Yes. Delicious. You can't tell if they season it right. If you go to Lowry's and get, ground beef seasoning for tacos, you can't tell that it's ground beef or turkey or whatever. But I prefer turkey. It's leaner and everything else. But ground turkey tacos, oh yes, definitely to die for. I just had to hear that song before I got out of here. For Your Precious Love, written by Ashford and Simpson, sung by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. That's going to do it for your Dr. Al Greer. I will see you Friday over at Williams Inn Pizza starting at 7 p.m. That's at 2210 South Michigan Avenue in the heart of the South Loop. Come on down and check me out. Thank you to Shannon, also to Sheila, to Ken Wadlington, to Elo, to Rita, to Queen Janine, to just everybody. Thank you so much. TC, thank you. Sheila Forrest, I appreciate you as always. Everybody. Shannon came in at the last minute. TC said, I made it. Elo said she made it. I truly thank you guys for staying up with me. Like I said, Friday night, for sure, I will be at Williams Inn Pizza. I don't know about Saturday, but Friday is a definite, starting at 7 p.m. I come right around the corner from 800 South Wells and go straight to 2210 South Michigan. And we have such a good time. So, hey, there you go. Shannon says, when you cook some, call me over. I got you. I got you. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Elo. Good night, family. All right, y'all. Once again, thank you for staying up with me. I appreciate you all. Hope to see you Friday over at Williams Inn Pizza, 2210 South Michigan Avenue. Shannon, thank you for coming last week. Next time, hey, come up to me and speak. When I don't have anybody in my face, it's all right. So, peace out, you all. I will talk with you on Monday if I'm not on Facebook Live tomorrow. All right? Peace out. Good night. And as always, God bless.